Yeah, yeah.
Can you talk about where he ended up, and a little bit about where you think things are going to, whatever you can talk about, where things begin here at the new one?
Well, yeah. I mean, where we end in season one, Charles has come back and asserted some sort of physical dominance over the town a bit, and he's up at the fort with the Baymen, and at the beginning of season two, you'll see he's up there, and you get to see that. But I think what's interesting about season two is I think none of these guys are kind of stagnant guys, and they don't sit in the same place. They're just not those kind of guys.
You get a sense in season one that you are not happy to be landlocked.
Yeah.
That he feels like he should be at sea, and taking over the brothel is not impressive to him at all.
Yeah. And I came back with these boats, but I still don't have a ship. So he doesn't have a ship. So it's, Charles Vane still has a long way to go to actually be a real pirate again. He's got a fort. What does that make him? Is that a pirate?
I like that scene right near the end of the first season where you're in the fort but still looking out at sea.
Yeah.
Not content yet.
Because in reality, that's what he's a guy that belongs to the sea. That's where he does. But in season one, you haven't really seen him on the sea yet. So there's still a lot to reveal, I think, for all the characters.
Was anybody else selected to cast for Charles Vane?
Yes, actually, I think originally Luke Arnold, who plays John Silver, was cast as Vane or Silver, and they weren't really sure what he was going to play. And then
enter Zach McGowan.
Yeah, and I was one of the last guys who came on board, and so it was funny, but what's great is we've all watched each other's audition tapes and stuff. So it's
How much research did you do on piracy previous to coming on to the show?
I did none.
Oh, that's so untrue. His room was full of books that I hadn't seen, as much as we could. I suppose you have your little bit of knowledge about pirates from whatever, a bit of Pirates of the Caribbean or what you know at school or Peter Pan, and then as soon as we were cast, we all started swapping texts and going, you should read this, did you know this? And that doesn't stop. We still keep sharing information about pirates. Did you know this happened, or this guy? Luke's a pretty full bottle. He's a font on it, so I can just go to him and say, what do you know about this?
Yeah, and what's also great too is that obviously John Steinberg and Robert have done so much research, and there's a couple of historians that are involved with the show, so there's no shortage of kind of means to get a lot of information. But I think research-wise, in reality though, I think most of us found that stuff fascinating. But as far as playing the characters, a lot of it just came from the normal work that actors do. Really just trying to make sense of the real people that these guys were. Especially, I think us, because we get to play true historical pirates. I think we always kind of take moments on set where we were remember that these people were, that these are real people who existed, who handled these kind of situations, and kind of what that must really be like, being in these situations. So
and three-dimensional, as brutal as the world is, human contact and intimacy and friendship, it's still real things. I imagine the harder a world gets, in fact, the more you need to be able to trust someone, or just to have a cuddle sometimes. Yeah. They're real things.
You have done voice acting on a few good video games such as Tom Clancy's and Iron Man. Have you been signed up for any more?
I have taken a break from doing some video game work because I have been unavailable in South Africa and Ireland, and I've recently been back to LA and have almost signed on to a couple, but I have not done. I love doing video game work, and I'm looking for a good one. But I haven't had very much time, and I've also recently had some children, so they take up some time as well. So yeah, it's really fun. I love doing video games. I was a kid. I grew up playing video games. So.
What's the last system you had?
Last system I have is the Xbox.
Sure.
But by the way, I've gotten given the Xbox One. Is that the? But I just haven't gotten it set up yet. But it's in Cape Town.
Oh, good. We'll be setting that up when we get back to Cape Town.
They sent it to me. I didn't even have to pay for it. It's fantastic.
So Zach, you went from playing a sex addict on Shameless to a pirate. Is a contrast what brought you to this role?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, obviously, when I was, you know, people met me as Jody, you know, in America on television. I'd done a bunch of guest star work before then, but, you know, that was where, you know, people started kind of, you know, wanting to take photographs or caring at all. When we were kind of winding down on that, when this kind of came across my email screen from my agents, I was like, this is the one that we have to get. We have to get this one. And
You really chased it.
Yeah, they were, because they weren't going to really read Americans on these parts. They weren't really reading Americans. They didn't want any Americans to read. So I was like, just tell them I'm English. I was like, I don't care what you do, get me in that room. So they couldn't get me in the room. So I let down a tape and sent it to my agents, who loved the tape right away and were able to get it in the hands of the producers quickly. And like in like 6 minutes, I was basically had the part. Like I literally just like sent it and like went and was like getting a glass of water, and I got this like email back like 2 minutes later, and then like they were like, listen, they want you to come in and read like tomorrow and with the producers. And I was like, but I'm in Chicago, because I was basically shooting the last episode of Shameless that I did in Chicago. And by the time I was doing my last day, I had Saturday and Sunday off, and then I started on Black Sails on Monday. So,
oh wow,
yeah, it was
seamless.
It was cool. It was cool. You know, I mean, definitely from going from being a non-working on camera actor to being working one is definitely cool.
You were also in Dracula Untold.
Yeah.
What was it like to play as?
Yeah, well, playing a nomadic Transylvanian, there's a word that you don't use to describe that kind of person. I don't know.
A traveler.
A traveler, a nomadic traveler. It was really fun to work on, you know, all these productions that are big. It's a new thing for me, but it's funny. You know, you do like $100 million movie, and you're like, wow, this is so big, but then you realize also how big the show is, because our sets and whatnot. I mean, I've still, in all the biggest movies I've ever seen, I've never seen anything like you know, the size of what we're doing in Black Sails. Although Dracula was really cool. I mean, I think as an actor, I've always been a character actor. I've always done different characters. I've never been that one kind of note guy just doing one thing. And to continue to get to move from very different people and very different kind of attributes, it's great. Clearly, my hair helped with all that too. So you know, one day I'm gonna shave it off, and you guys are like, "Oh, he's a cop."
Right.
Here's something, you know.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Cheers.